Let's take a look at 3 upper structure combinations to use over a 2 sub 5-1. I'll show you an exercise to practice all 3 combinations in all keys. And definitely be sure to stick around until the end of the video, where I'll show you how to get the PDF for today's exercise. And you can use any of these 3 combinations every time you see a 2-5-1 or a 2 sub 5-1 in a progression. Remember, the sub 5 can always replace the 5 chord because it contains the same tritone. In C major, a G7 can be replaced by a D flat 7. The sub 5's root is always a tritone away from the 5 chord's root, and therefore a half step above the 1 chord, our target. So a D minor 7, G7, C major 7 can be replaced by a D minor 7, D flat 7, C major 7. Or in the key of A major, a B flat minor 7 to E7 to A major 7 can be replaced by a B minor 7 to B flat 7 to A major 7. See, instead of going around the circle of fifths, the roots of the chords now move chromatically down. Now, what upper structures can we use over this progression? And remember, we have an entire course on upper structures if you want to study this concept in depth. So let's start with 3 triads with a low amount of tension. D over B minor 7, C over B flat 7, and C sharp minor over A major 7. Listen to just the upper structures. See how these 3 triads create a completely independent harmonic progression? And at first glance, it seems completely unrelated to our 2 sub 5-1 progression. And that's the point of using upper structures. They allow us to create a second harmonic layer on top of the original harmony that is always consistent and enriches the sound quality. This is a great technique to use when you're comping at the piano or arranging for large ensembles. You can give these 3 notes to the trumpets and the lower part of the chord to the horns, for example. All right, so one thing we should talk about is that not all 3 of these triads are technically upper structures. In order for a triad to be an upper structure of a chord, it must have at least 1 tension. And D over B minor 7 is just made out of chord tones. D is the 3rd of B minor 7, F sharp is the 5th, and A is the 7th. D, therefore, is technically a lower structure triad of B minor 7. But I wanted to show you this first example because many times lower structures used as upper structures are very effective. And the same goes for the C sharp minor over the A major 7. C sharp minor is just made out of A major 7's chord tones. But the C triad over B flat 7 is a real upper structure. C is the 9th of B flat 7, and E is the 11th, and G is the 13th. So why do I know I can use these tensions on a sub 5? Well, all sub 5s pair really well with the Lydian flat 7 scale, which contains the tensions 9, sharp 11, and 13. Again, if you're at all confused about any of these terms, check out our course on upper structures. Okay, so now we're going to practice it in all keys like this. Notice that we're playing root plus guide tones on the left hand and the upper structures on the right hand. Also, in order to master these upper structures in all keys, it's essential that you start thinking on the degree that you're using to build these upper structures. A D over B minor 7 is the major triad on the flat 3 of B minor 7. So you want to play the same upper structure over C minor 7. Remember to think of the flat 3 of C minor 7, E flat, and play a major triad on that note. So in this combination, we're using the flat 3 major triad over a minor 7 chord, the 2 major triad over a dominant chord, and the 3 minor triad over a major 7 chord. On step 2, let's get rid of the root and play a rootless voicing, 2 plus 3, like this. Finally, on step 3, let's just play the root on the left hand. This is a great ear training exercise because you're getting used to providing the context internally. If you practice this on a regular basis, you'll develop the necessary ear training skills to hear these structures as a layer on top of the original harmonic layer. This is a great skill for improvisation because it'll help you expand your perception of what a progression sounds like. And it'll get even more interesting on the next 2 combinations. All right, our next upper structure combination is A over B minor 7, C over B flat 7, and B over A major 7. And that's a flat 7 major triad over minor 7, a 2 major triad over a dominant chord, and a 2 major triad over a major 7 chord. Now we have 3 real upper structures over each of the chords. Each upper structure triad contains at least 1 tension. Step 1, we're going to do root and guide tones on the left hand and the upper structures on the right hand. Step 2, rootless. And step 3, just the root on the left hand. And finally, we're going to practice A major triad over B minor 7, E augmented over B flat 7, and an E major triad over an A major 7. That's a flat 7 major triad over a minor 7 chord, a sharp 4 augmented triad over a dominant chord, and a 5 major triad over a major 7 chord. Step 1 will be the root and guide tones on the left hand and upper structures on the right. Step 2, again, rootless voicings. And step 3, just the root on the left hand. Practice this exercise every day until you've mastered all of the combinations. And if you own Mapping Tonal Harmony Pro, remember that there's an upper structures add-on that will show you all the upper structures over every chord in a progression. And you can customize what type of upper structures that you want, from triads to chordals, how much tension you want to include, and so on. And if you don't own Mapping Tonal Harmony Pro, go ahead and check out our Upper Structures Over Complete Jazz Standards progression book. We've included all jazz standards from the Real Book Volume 1 with upper structures over every single chord. It's a great resource to have if you want to practice this concept over actual tunes. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description down below if you're interested in buying these books. As always, all of our members will receive a PDF with today's exercise. If you're not a member yet, what are you waiting for? You can join right here on YouTube by clicking on the join button. And don't forget, you can access all of our previous exclusive access content by getting our MDEX music journal on mdex.com. Thanks again for hanging out with us today, and we'll see you on the next video.